This is the time of year so many of us are trying to decide on our health coverage that we might get through an employer, or we're looking at buying our own. And there's a term thrown around every open enrollment season, HSA. Confuses people so much. And at the same time, it's one of the coolest things we can have offered to us as a long-term strategy to financial security. How could something with health care and health coverage end up building long-term financial security? Well, this is weird, but the way this plays is an HSA stands for Health Savings Account. And it's this weirdo thing that allows you to put in money pre-tax into an account, have the money grow tax-free through the years, and then spend it on eligible medical expenses tax-free. So you got pre-tax dollars going in, pre-tax dollars grow, they're never taxed, the earnings are never taxed, and then the money is spent for that. So it is better than a Roth. That's right. I'm the man from Roth, and it's better than a Roth. But you got to know how it plays. First rule of thumb, you have to buy a health insurance plan that is what's known as HSA eligible, which if your employer doesn't offer one, conversation's over. If your employer does offer one, you need to know how it works. You have to have a plan with a deductible. And the deductibles are not crazy high how health insurance works these days. If you're just buying insurance for yourself, it has to have a deductible of at least $1,500. If you're buying family coverage, it has to have an annual deductible of at least $3,000. Now, your employer may offer one that's an HSA eligible plan that has higher deductibles than that. But they can offer one that has those limits, $1,500, $3,000. $1,500 individual, $3,000 for a family. So a plan that has a deductible that high or higher may not be HSA eligible because it has to have a tight cap on overall out-of-pocket expenses for you. So that's how much you could, if somebody has a really bad, serious illness, injury, accident, the maximum out-of-pocket that you could face as an individual is $7,500 for a plan to be HSA eligible, and for a family, $15,000. We're talking big money now. But what's so weird about health coverage is a lot of non-HSA eligible plans have these big cumulative out-of-pockets in a year for a major illness, injury, or accident. So it's easier and easier for an employer to offer an HSA eligible plan. So why am I so jazzed about these? Because you can put money into these that allow you to put as an individual in a plan. You can put $3,850 in, family $7,750. And if you're older, over 55, you can add 1,000 to those amounts. So that money, remember, is pre-tax dollars. So it's like the government is giving you a booster shot of an additional, let's say 30% going into that HSA, because you're putting in not after-tax dollars to pay medical bills, you're paying in with pre-tax dollars that then, remember, grow tax-free through the years and then ultimately can be spent tax-free on eligible medical. But the math only is incredible if you do something weird that goes against everything I just said. You pay current medical expenses, the deductibles, that kind of stuff, if you can afford to, out of pocket, which, by the way, then you're using after-tax dollars to pay those bills. Why would I have you walk away from using money you put aside pre-tax that was designed to pay current medical bills, and I'd tell you, oh, let that grow, and then use your after-tax dollars to pay current medical bills. Because the long-term math of having that money grow tax-free and then ultimately way down the road being able to use it tax-free is so incredibly positive that it just works for you. And if you're one of those people who's very healthy or won't go to doctors, then you're growing that money tax-free.